The film opens at the White House, where leaders work on solving big political problems. Outside, everyday people plan their lives, unaware of the disaster coming. One morning, everything changes. For reasons nobody knows, all males in the city, men, animals, birds, die suddenly, including the president. The only males still alive are Yoro Brown, a young, unskilled magician, and his pet capuchin monkey, Amperson. Regina Oliver was meant to take over as president in an emergency, but she was abroad when the catastrophe hit and hasn't been heard from since. With no leader, chaos breaks out. Women in the city panic, smashing and destroying everything, unsure how to survive. Inside the White House, tension builds. The staff realize they'll be trapped in 2 weeks when coal, clean water, and food supplies run out. Animals can't have babies anymore, and growing enough food quickly isn't possible. This crisis doesn't just hit one city, it threatens the whole world. Senator Jennifer Brown steps up to lead. Soon, Agent Sarah Bergen, part of the president's secret team called 355, meets her. Sarah says she was sent because of a serious danger, but didn't get full instructions for her mission. Meanwhile, Yoro stays hidden in his apartment to avoid desperate women who might come after him. As his food and supplies start running low, he writes a note for his girlfriend, Beth, and goes out to check what's happening. At the same time, Jennifer sends Sarah to find her daughter, Hero, who hasn't contacted anyone since the disaster began. Hero doesn't hide in a safe place. Instead, she heads to a refugee center to help people in need, including the wife of her dead lover. Then she joins her friends at a hideout. At first, it seems like some men survived, but it turns out they're transgender men, born female and using hormone therapy, so the mysterious plague didn't affect them. In New York City, evacuation starts, and big military trucks roll through the streets. Yoro hides to avoid being caught by soldiers, but sneaks into a bar to leave another note for Beth, hoping she's alive and will see his message. Yoro usually stays out of sight, but his monkey Amperson runs off, forcing Yoro to chase him into a flooded subway full of dead bodies. Pushing through his disgust, Yoro follows, not wanting to lose his only friend. He thinks he sees another man nearby, but it's just his imagination. His flashlight shows nothing but dirty water. After climbing out, Yoro slips into a clothing store to change his wet clothes. The shopkeepers spot him and are stunned. One suggests turning him in for a reward, but they feel sorry for him and let him go, giving him clean clothes. The stress Yoro faces nearly pushes him to the edge. Watching old videos on his phone, he remembers the day Amperson came into his life, and the monkey crawls out from hiding. They head back home, feeling safe, but then someone breaks in. Yoro grabs a guitar to defend himself, hiding around a corner, but Sarah is faster and stronger. She takes the guitar and after a few hours brings him to his mother, Jennifer, at the White House. The pilots who flew Yoro are locked away, said to need rest after their flight, but really to keep his survival a secret. If word got out, it could spark rumors of a conspiracy and cause more chaos. Yoro isn't happy about being there. After resting from all he's been through, he explores the White House, but his curiosity almost causes trouble. Mara, the late president's widow, sees him in an empty office. Jennifer and Sarah arrive in time, convincing others that Mara is having a mental breakdown. Yoro hides, but the danger grows, and Sarah insists he must leave the White House. Kimberly, Mara's daughter, tries to figure out what her mother saw, but Jennifer says it was just a hallucination. Kimberly suspects Jennifer is lying. Jennifer orders her aides to find a scientist who can study Yoro and Amperson to understand why they survived the plague. She wants to bring experts to the White House, but Sarah says it's too dangerous and Yoro needs to leave the city. Sarah takes on the risky mission, saying it must happen fast. In Israel, a woman wakes from an injury, learns all men are dead, and declares herself the rightful U.S. president. Nora Brady, a former presidential advisor, wanders with her young daughter, Mackenzie, mourning her husband and sons. With no way to survive, Nora struggles but vows to fight for their lives. Word reaches the White House that Regina Oliver is alive, splitting the staff. Some stay loyal to Jennifer, while others support Regina and Kimberly. Jennifer agrees to move Yoro to a safer place. Sarah recruits the pilots who brought Yoro, promising them hero medals and glory if they succeed. To sneak Yoro out, they hide him in a cart full of dead bodies. Yoro protests, wanting a different plan, but Sarah says there's no time for risks. She gets him to a helicopter and pilots it herself, while another helicopter with female pilots flies ahead to distract attention. When the second helicopter reaches a certain height and disappears from view, it explodes in flames. Yoro is shocked, but Sarah stays calm, knowing that was the price of keeping the pilots quiet. After hours of flying, they land in a forest to rest. Sarah, unable to stand Yoro's smell from the corpse cart, tells him to take off his clothes and wash them before they continue. Meanwhile, Hero and her transgender friend Sam search for a safe place. They stop at a looted store for food, but find Nora and Mackenzie instead. Hero sees Mackenzie's badly infected leg wound and offers first aid so they can keep moving. In the forest, a group of wild looters attack Sarah and Yoro's camp. Sarah tries to calm them down, but Yoro, scared they'll ruin their plan, puts on a mask and waves a stick to frighten them away. The looters leave, but Sarah and Yoro decide to move on. They reach a nearby town and trade a helicopter generator and some grenades for a motorcycle. While Sarah checks the bike, Yoro forgets safety rules and runs to a quiet spot, thinking he saw Beth in a crowd. This mistake traps him, as female police officers surround him, rip off his mask, and realize he's male. Sarah fights them off, pulling Yoro to safety. When they get a moment, she stops the bike and scolds him for almost ruining their mission, reminding him how important it is. Hero, Sam, Nora, and Mackenzie find shelter for the night in an empty women's center. Hero tells Nora that Mackenzie needs antibiotics, but all pharmacies have been looted. Nora steps outside to hide her tears, feeling scared and helpless. Women on horses, claiming the shelter as theirs, confront Nora and find the others, herding them to the stables to get rid of extra people to feed. Nora notices one woman is wounded and asks Hero to help. Hero tries her best, but the gunshot wound is too severe, with only duct tape and gloves available. After hours of trying, the woman gets worse, and Roxanne, the group's leader, ends her suffering. Surprisingly kind, Roxanne lets them stay for the night and promises antibiotics for Mackenzie. As they follow Roxanne, Hero sees the group controls a shopping mall packed with supplies. Sarah and Yoro head to Boston to find scientist Allison Mann, but a heavily guarded checkpoint with tear gas blocks the city entrance. Sarah suggests splitting up. She'll distract the soldiers while Yoro and Ampersand sneak around. Meeting contacts in Boston, Sarah learns that crime hasn't stopped despite the loss of men, with rebels attacking Harvard for answers. The plan works. Sarah keeps the soldiers busy, and Yoro hides in a headquarters building. Rebels catch him, but mistake him for a transgender man, letting him go and telling him where to find a safe community for hormones. Yoro and Sarah find Allison's apartment and then her office at Harvard. She's not happy about strangers, but when Yoro takes off his mask, she understands why they're there. With no equipment or samples at Harvard, Allison suggests traveling to San Francisco for a lab. Sarah agrees, but secretly breaks their radio, cutting contact with the White House, later saying it stopped working. She leaves Yoro to watch Allison, claiming she'll find another way to reach the president. At the White House, fights over power grow. Jennifer's aide Christine gets sick and thinks she lost her baby, but an ultrasound shows the pregnancy is fine, possibly a boy. Sarah breaks into a stranger's house, only to find the homeowner is as skilled and dangerous as she is. They fight, but when they talk, they realize they're from the same group, both sent to kill the homeowner. Jennifer, worried after the helicopter crash, learns only 2 pilots' bodies were found. Suspecting Sarah staged it to silence witnesses, she fears for Yoro's safety with a dangerous agent. Regina Oliver arrives at the White House, and Kimberly plots a coup to remove Jennifer and gain power. Allison tells Yoro she's not sure her research will succeed, unsure if they can find why men died or bring them back, warning of tough times as test subjects. Sarah returns, lying that she got Jennifer's permission to go to San Francisco. They start their journey, unaware that a military patrol with Sarah's picture is searching the city. While waiting for a safe moment between gas attacks, Yoro visits the transgender community, feeling safe to show his face. Sarah is furious at his recklessness, but the real danger is her. A patrol arrives with her picture. They escape to a church where Sarah admits she's cut off from the White House and making decisions on her own. Hero, Sam, Nora, and Mackenzie stay at Roxanne's commune, which seems like a perfect place with food, medicine, and safety. When Nora tries to pull Mackenzie from a radical meeting against men, Roxanne gets angry, saying they must follow her rules and listen to her. Roxanne pushes Mackenzie to hate men and join her group. Another meeting is interrupted by a battle alarm, and the women build barricades to defend their supermarket. The attackers are a small group of desperate women with a child. Roxanne meets them but refuses to let them join her commune, showing no pity even for the child, and sends them away. Allison finds a wanted poster for Sarah among her things and tells Yoro to run, warning that Sarah's secrets could put him in danger. Yoro stays loyal, knowing she's hiding something. That evening, Roxanne holds a celebration for her group called the Amazons. She introduces Laura, who is sprinkled with dirt, dunked in a bathtub, and renamed Athena, which feels strange to Hero and her friends. Sam, Hero's trans friend, leaves the hall, unsettled. An Amazon follows, warning him not to challenge Roxanne, but gets in trouble herself and is called for a talk. Jennifer gets a report that a search team has found Sarah and is planning an ambush, worrying they'll find Yoro too. Allison convinces Yoro to escape into the forest. Trackers chase them, but Sarah stops the soldiers and destroys their radios, cutting off the White House. That night, Nora hears screams and sees Amazons punishing a girl for talking to Sam. The kind-seeming women are cruel, but Nora stays quiet to keep Mackenzie safe, following Roxanne's rules. Sarah finds a van, and they continue to San Francisco. Yoro and Allison's escape attempt creates tension, and Sarah, distrusting them, falls asleep at the wheel, crashing the van. Allison looks for Sarah, but she's gone from the driver's seat. Military vehicles, not from the White House, appear nearby. Jennifer is told about the crash and that a man was among the group, struggling to keep suspicion off Yoro. Yoro wakes in a strange house, in bed with an unknown woman. Looking for Allison, he meets the ranch residents who saved him. They seem peaceful, but won't say where Sarah and Allison are. The women wake in a jail cell, unsure where they are or how to get out. Jennifer speaks to the city, asking for calm and evacuation, and spots Beth, who was in a hospital. While talking to Beth, Kimberly secretly urges Regina to overthrow Jennifer. Despite the friendly ranch, Yoro is locked up with Sarah and Allison as the community decides what to do with them. News arrives of a new flu strain in Greece, and Jennifer tackles this crisis. Mara demands to know if rumors about Yoro are true. In the cell, Yoro and Sarah argue, but a woman from the ranch says they can stay until Sarah heals, then be escorted out to continue to San Francisco. Sam gets a separate room and warns Yoro to stay alert, but Yoro thinks Sam is overreacting, seeing the ranch's food, electricity, and water as safe. Mara, overwhelmed by grief, jumps from the White House roof, leaving a note for Kimberly to be strong. Beth, instead of going to her friends, as she told Jennifer, joins a rebel group planning a White House attack. At the commune, Kate tries to leave, but Roxanne shoots her in the back, blaming nomads, and orders firearms training to stop more escapes. Nora learns Roxanne plans to kick her and Mackenzie out. She begs to stay, but Roxanne gives them a few days. Roxanne recalls starting the Amazons and ruling alone since the beginning. Roxanne keeps tight control, telling her commune that danger waits outside her protection. She holds daily meetings where women must share bad stories about men, convincing them she's their only safety. Sam, banned from these, plans to start a new community by the lake. Hero, swayed by Roxanne, isn't sure about leaving. Roxanne sees Hero and Sam argue and tells Hero no man, even a trans man, should speak to her like that. They part ways, and Roxanne kicks Sam out with some food. The next morning, Roxanne hides her role, comforting Hero with a lively festival to reject men. Everyone enjoys it except Nora, who feels out of place. For revenge, Nora sets fire to the mall while all sleep, destroying supplies. She hides her satisfaction, blending with the grieving Amazons. Planning to escape, Nora checks her supplies in the forest, but finds a police car with bodies, showing Roxanne's lies. Alone with Roxanne, Nora demands the best food, shelter, and protection for her and Mackenzie in exchange for silence, offering to help Roxanne keep control. Roxanne agrees, giving a bold speech to her followers about overcoming hardship and ruling the world. Sarah, recovering, trains despite hallucinations, watching Euro, who trusts the villagers too much. A villager asks Sarah about a device from the crashed van, hinting at a beacon, but keeps it from Euro. On Roxanne's orders, Hero finds a settlement honoring men's memory. Roxanne, claiming to protect women's rights, raids it for supplies. The Amazons destroy everything, upsetting Nora, who tries to reason with Roxanne, but she insists it's right. Regina, now healthy, plans a coup against Jennifer in 30 minutes, asking Kimberly for help, but Kimberly, grieving her mother, refuses. Beth's rebels plant explosives under the White House. Jennifer, accused of hiding Euro, admits he survived and was sent to a scientist to save humanity, unsure if he arrived. Her supporters demand she step down for Regina. An explosion hits as Beth's rebels storm through tunnels, forcing security to surrender. Jennifer recognizes Beth, but stays quiet as signaled. Regina claims presidency, accusing all of betrayal, including Kimberly, and reveals Euro's survival. A rebel shoots Regina dead, throwing their plans into chaos. At the ranch, women pursue Euro for attention while he's distracted and Allison talks with locals. Sarah sneaks into the forest to destroy the beacon tracking her. Rebels fail to move hostages as another group releases tear gas. Gunfire breaks out, and those who don't escape die. Beth frees Jennifer, who can't save Christine, but Kimberly protects her. They escape through the parking lot. Roxanne finds a notebook in the memory town listing surviving men targeting Euro. Nora shows his picture, and they head to his village. Sarah, sensing danger, urges Euro and Allison to leave. Euro dislikes it, but doesn't argue. Roxanne's squad prepares to attack. Two nomads tell Hero the president died, and she thinks it's her mother, though Jennifer is alive. Jennifer, mourning Hero, flees with Beth. Sam sneaks into Jennifer's house, but they're surrounded. Christine and Kimberly hide in a barn. Kimberly says Euro can save humanity, and Euro seems to agree, sleeping with a village woman. Roxanne's Amazons attack, demanding Euro. Sarah tells his girlfriend to get him out while she fights. Outnumbered, Sarah pretends to surrender, offering a trans man as the survivor. A firefight erupts. Sarah disarms enemies and escapes. Mackenzie fights to prove herself to Roxanne. Hero chases the escapees, firing until she sees Euro, her brother. His girlfriend shoots Hero, not knowing their family. Wounded, Hero tells Nora their mother is dead, and the Amazons want him gone, killing an Amazon to give him time. Nora surrenders, stopping the fight. Roxanne rages, but no one listens. Hero tells Nora Euro is alive, giving her strength. Back at camp, Nora shoots Roxanne, taking over with Hero's support. Sarah walks miles to find Euro and Allison. Euro, heartbroken, feels he's lost everyone. Sarah shares her own loss of parents, understanding him. She says he can leave since Jennifer's orders ended with her presumed death, but Euro asks Sarah to train him to protect himself. Jennifer, Beth, and Sam are locked in a room by Sarah's old Secret Service boss. Following the beacon, Sarah leads Euro and Allison to a car with research tools and a map to an unknown place, leaving their next step a mystery.